tuned into Quick Charge, the high voltage podcast bringing you the top stories in electric vehicles and sustainable energy daily. And it's all powered by Electrek. Welcome to Quick Charge. It's January 21st, 2025, and I'm your host, Joe Boris. It's been a wild 24 hours since Donald Trump took his second inauguration and immediately went to work attacking EVs with executive orders. But mostly, Fred writes, it signals further damages. President Trump has already attacked electric vehicles with executive orders on his first day, but he's mostly signaling upcoming attacks on EVs that would further damage the environment. As part of the Unleashing American Energy executive order, one of many orders signed by Trump on his first day, the president has officially eliminated a mandate that never existed and signaled putting further moves against electric vehicles. To eliminate electric vehicle mandate, promote our true consumer choice, which is essential for economic growth and innovation by removing regulatory barriers to motor vehicle access by ensuring a level regulatory playing field for consumer choice in vehicles, by terminating where appropriate state emissions waivers that function to limit sales of gas-powered automobiles, and by considering the elimination of unfair subsidies and other ill-conceived government-imposed market distortions that favor EVs over technologies and effectively mandate their purchase by individuals, private businesses, and government entities alike by rendering other types of vehicles unaffordable. There never really was an EV mandate in the US other than a goal to achieve 50% EV sales by 2030. The president also mentions, quote, considering the elimination of EV subsidies. That's something he campaigned on, but sounds like it might have to wait, and he'll need backing from Congress to make it happen. President Trump also instructed all agencies to stop funding EV charging stations. All agencies shall immediately pause the disbursement of funds appropriated through the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 or the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, including but not limited to funds for electric vehicle charging stations made available through the National Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Formula Program, which is NEVI, and the Charging and Fueling Infrastructure Discretionary Grant Program, or CFI, and shall review their processes, policies, and programs for issuing grants, loans, contracts, or any other financial disbursements of such appropriated funds for consistency with the law and the policy outlined in Section 2 of this order. Finally, the president instructed all agencies to identify regulations that would, quote, slow development or use of domestic energy resources, but added, quote, with particular attention to oil, natural gas, coal, hydropower, biofuels, critical mineral, and nuclear energy resources, strategically leaving out solar power. Now, there is a ton of stuff to unpack here in the Unleashing American Energy Act. Definitely something you should take a look at and read in its entirety. Now, I will say this, it is not all bad when it comes to electric vehicles. There does seem to be a desire from the president's side, or from the administration at least, to accelerate the mining of critical materials like lithium and cobalt within U.S. shores. Now, are we going to do that in a way that's environmentally friendly? Probably not. But are we going to do it? Is it going to benefit American workers? Is it going to create jobs? Probably. So while that immediate attack on the federal incentive does seem like a bad thing, and that attack on the distribution of funds for EV charging probably also definitely a bad thing, there is still some silver linings here, so don't count EVs out quite yet. Moving on, Hyundai Ionic 5 and Ionic 9 have lost the $7,500 EV tax credit. Of course, they're just about all going to lose that soon, but Peter Johnson writes about how you can still get it. I'm not going to make you go through the whole article. The short answer is leasing. Hyundai is still passing the $7,500 EV tax credit on through leases on those vehicles, with leases starting as low as $199 a month. The new 2025 Ionic 5 is still cheaper than a new RAV4. And with a bigger 84 kilowatt hour battery, the 2025 Ionic 5 has a driving range up to 328 miles, up from 303 in 2024. It also gains noticeable design upgrades and now includes a NACS port, so it can be used at Tesla superchargers. The Ionic 5 was already the fourth best-selling EV in the US last year. With more range, an upgraded design, and access to Tesla superchargers, we expect it to be even more attractive in 2025. And speaking of 2025, The new 2025 Volvo EX30 and EX90 have finally arrived in the US, and Peter Johnson writes about how much they cost. The new EX30 twin motor performance has a starting price of $44,900, and upgrading to the Ultra trim, which includes added park pilot assist, 360-degree camera with 3D view, pilot assist, and more, adds $1,700, bringing it to $46,600. With up to 422 horsepower, the extended range twin motor performance model is the quickest accelerating Volvo ever, with a 0 to 60 sprint in just 3.4 seconds. The 2025 EX30 has a range of 250 miles with a charging capacity up to 153 kilowatts. The electric SUV can fast charge in just over 20 minutes. Volvo also revealed the 2025 EX90, its first three-row electric SUV, will have a starting price of $79,995. All US-bound EX90 models will be built in South Carolina. The EX90 is, quote, the start of a new era for Volvo cars. That's according to CEO Jim Rowan. Volvo's larger electric SUV features its signature Scandinavian design and advanced new technology. With up to 67 cubic feet of cargo space and 7-seat options, the Volvo EX90 is the latest luxury family hauler to arrive in the US. Now, we're going to get into another segment now. We're going to be talking about Tesla, talking about Elon. Elon, of course, a controversial figure in general, and certainly much more controversial after that inauguration speech. So we're going to have a little bit of a trigger warning here from now on when we talk about Elon. And in this article, we're going to discuss that Tesla is pointing to diner integration in their app, as well as insurance discounts with full self-driving and more in their latest updates. Obviously, supercharger stations are already integrated into Tesla's app, but there could be more with the diner, like in-app food ordering. They also found an interesting new line in the Tesla app: safety score miles and miles percent over safety rating discount screen over safety score FSD discount experience FSD. It points to Tesla giving discounts to its insurance customers if they use full self-driving more when driving their vehicles. Another alert message added to the vehicle points to something interesting. Your vehicle must be connected to the internet to calculate the expected range based on age and mileage. This would mean you could know if your range estimation is based purely on vehicle data or if it uses outside data like weather around your route. The Tesla app update also gives us a few hints about what's coming with the rear-wheel drive Cybertruck. The cheaper version of the Cybertruck won't only have one motor instead of two and a smaller battery, but according to some updates in the app, will also have a manual tonneau cover and optional outlets in the truck's bed. The cheaper Cybertruck is expected to launch later this year. Now, you guys know we like to end these talking about the environment, talking about the grid, talking about sustainability. Today is going to be no different, and Puerto Rico just got $1.2 billion in DOE financing to boost its grid with solar and storage. Now, look at the date on that. That's from January 17th, before Trump signed all those executive orders, which, even though they excluded financing, cannot really be counted on. That said, the DOE's loan programs office announced two conditional commitments on one loan closing to power producers in Puerto Rico. Each supports a project contracted with the Puerto Rico Electric Power Authority. The announcements include closing of a $584.5 million loan guarantee to subsidiaries of Convergent Energy to finance a 100-megawatt solar farm with a 55-megawatt battery energy storage system in the municipality of Coamo, and BESS installations in the municipalities of Caguas, Peñuelas, and Ponce. A conditional commitment for a loan guarantee of up to $133.6 million to a subsidiary of Infinigen for a 32.1 megawatt solar farm with an integrated 14.45 megawatt BESS, and a co-located standalone 50 megawatt BESS expansion in the municipality of Yabucoa. A conditional commitment for loan guarantee of up to $489 million to a subsidiary of Pattern Energy for 3 standalone BESS in the municipalities of Arecibo and Santa Isabel, and a 70-megawatt solar farm with an integrated BESS in the municipality of Arecibo. If they're finalized and if they get the go-ahead, the projects would more than double LPO support for utility-grade solar generation and battery energy storage in Puerto Rico. That's all we've got for today, January 21st. And hey, Dad, if you're out there listening somewhere, happy 80th birthday. Be sure to like and subscribe and catch the rest of it tomorrow.